Guys, in this video I'm going to teach you how to adjust your shutter speed on both the Nikon and the Canon camera. So let's start with Nikon. Now we are going to put our camera into shutter priority mode. So on the shooting mode dial, I hold down the shooting mode lock button, which is on the top, twist the dial to S. On Nikon it's an S. On Canon it is a TV, which stands for time value, because shutter speed deals with time. So back to the Nikon, I set it to S, and now I use, oops, it fell asleep, so hit the shutter release button to wake it up. I use the rear command dial. Yours may be the front, on mine it's the rear. I go to the right to go to the fastest shutter speed that this camera can achieve. Now, shutter speed is determined by the camera body, not by the lens, like f-stop and aperture is determined by the lens. So this camera body can achieve a 1/4000. So 4,000th of a second, this shutter can open and close very, very quickly. Now, I again am looking on my top LCD screen. You may be looking at your back LCD screen. You may not have a top one, and that's totally fine. But on my top one, all I see is the number 4,000. I do not see the 1 over. So be aware, notice where you're looking, and notice that it may not be the full number, but it is the 1/4000. Now to go to the other end, or the longest shutter speed that this camera can go to, I scroll all the way down till I get to 30 full seconds, which is denoted by the inch mark. So it's 30, looks like 30 inches. Now on my Nikon camera, I can actually go one step below that to an X250. That has to do with flash sync speeds, which we're not going to cover right now. So when you do this, just go to that 30 full seconds just to learn how to get to the top and the bottom of the shutter speeds. So I can do any shutter speed in between. So I'm going to set it to a 60 right now, which is actually a 1/60, even though it just says 60. So that is the same both in shutter priority mode as well as in manual. Same on the Canon. Shutter priority mode and manual, you set them both the same. So I'm going to put the Canon into shutter priority mode, which is TV for time value. And then I'm going to wake it up by pressing the shutter release button halfway down. And then I'm going to use the top command dial, and I'm going to go to my fastest shutter speed, which is 1/8000. So this camera can do 1/8000. This Nikon can only do 1/4000. Your camera body maybe do something completely different, 1/2000, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just go to the fastest one so you can learn how to do it. Again, this top screen says just 8000. It does not say 1/8000. You may be doing it on the back screen, and if you do, it probably will say 1/8000. And let's go to the slowest shutter speed that the Canon can do. And again, 30 and then the inch mark, which shows us 30 full seconds. The same, you do it exactly the same in manual mode as you would in shutter priority mode. So there you have it. You can now adjust your shutter speed on your digital camera.